Update number 3. So the benchwork has been installed at the end, which is where the right hand loop for the dog bone will run round, and I've run a sort of an angle strut up there, which then is onto the bracing underneath there, the framework underneath, and onto the bench on the top. There's a small piece, maybe 8-inch wide piece, that wants to be attached to the end where the ladder is there to get the loop around, and I've made a little cutout for access, basically for getting to trains if they derail on the far edge there. And I've made it that shape because it might end up being a lake. Now then, so the benchwork's there. This is the level it's split. It'll come in on that top back rail there. It'll loop around over the track that you see the locomotive on there, back around the outside edge, back around this edge, then round back outside edge, and then where that bit of track is there, it'll split in two. The bit where the locomotive is, that's down to the staging, and branching off where the multimeter is there will be a bit that actually comes back up to the top level and rejoins it. But the main advancement has been the completion of the staging tracks. So that splits into two there, with the bypass track on the back there, and then here in the foreground, this is the main stretch of the staging track. And we've got, there's 5 loops there, plus the one at the back, which can either be used as a staging track or as a bypass track. And I've had the multimeter on all of them. Continuity seems to be pretty good, low resistance. I've had the locomotive through them all once I set the points right, and everything's good. Just coming right back, sorry about the fast movement. The piece of yellow foam on the strut there, you're probably wondering why that's there. Wonder no more. I learnt the hard way that if you're walking around with one of those magnifying eyepieces on, it's great for close up, but you fail to see things which are slightly further than 2 feet away from you. So, onto this end here now, you can just see I've laid out just roughly laid out some track and some points and a slip over there, because what I want to do is, this is the plan, that's basically there. So it's the least amount of point work I can use without and still achieve what I want to do, which is to be able to basically get trains to change direction so they can loop around each other. They can get back from what you're seeing there as a double loop. The inner loop is going to be storage, and then in the middle what you see is the phase 2, the branch line, the track with this track here will disappear off. I'll show you where that's going to go in a minute, and you can see the other storage tracks there. So that track that branches off for phase 2, taking you along the benchwork here, that will drop down from the bench through that cutout there, angle across a fairly steep gradient, about 4%, excuse me, down to the windowsill, and that will run all the way on a narrow shelf down to that back corner, and the last few feet of that back corner I hope to make a coal tipple to load stuff up. So it'll just give a little bit of operation to what is essentially, I keep calling it the layout, but really this is just being built as a test track.